All right. So we are continuing with our this Streamlit series. Okay. So here this will be our last video in which we'll discuss some basic visits of Streamlit, right? And because with this much knowledge, we can do what we can go for the machine learning model deployment, or we can see how we can use machine learning model at the production level. Okay. So let's try to understand how select box actually works. Okay. So for the select box, we can just use over here st dot select box. Okay, select box also should be what in a small letter. Thereafter, two parameters I have to feed over here. The first parameter representing the text. Okay, that okay, what, like for example, mention your occupation. Okay, let's say I'm mention your occupation. Okay, now if I'm asking to mention your occupation, then I have to give some kind of option. Okay, in case if I want to give the option, then we can just use select box, right? So for that, I can use over here list or tuple kind of thing. So let's say I mention student, right? That's first option is student. Second option, let's say engineer. Okay, third option, let's say vlogger. Okay. All right. Now I'll save this thing, right? And we'll try to run it. How can we run it? We have to go to the same environment, right? And here we can just run what Streamlit run and the file name. What is my file name? The file name, if you see, is streamlit demo.py, right? So streamlit demo.py. Okay, I just did a spelling mistake. No worry. Now I executed it. Obviously, it will use our web browser to show our output, right? So let's see the output that we are getting it over here. So here you can see we have a select box, right? So here we are using a variable to store the selected, like when user is selecting through select box, the value will be stored in occupation. And there onwards we can do what we can just showcase these things like this st.text, or yeah, we can just use success or anything. Okay, so selected occupation is what? Here occupation. So it is called what? Formatted text. Okay, so occupation, the second occupation should be variable, so I can use f over here. Let's save it. Okay, and let's try to rerun the things. Okay, here if I'll select, so student is selected engineer, and this is how things are working, right? Now we will see button. Okay, because button is useful to click, any clickable event can be done with the help of button. Okay, so let's say I'll define the button over st.button. Okay, I'll say what, let's say example button. Okay, now save it. All right, now when I click on this button, I want there should be an activity. Okay, so now when we click on this button, I want there should be an activity. So to trigger activity, we can do what? We can write it over here, if, right? And then we can do what? st.success button clicked. Now save it, right? Now let's see if I'll go here and I click it, you can see the output button clicked. All right. So this is what button. Now user input. User input can be what? Normal text input, number input, or password input, right? So user underscore text. Okay, this is what I am creating for user input as a text, right? So here st dot text input. Okay, enter your name. Okay, now I can just showcase the same thing st dot what text you can use. Okay, whatever the name we have, you like suppose user underscore text. Okay, @112233 as password. Okay, so let's see what happened. We'll go to this part, right? The text. Okay, it is showing some error. What is the error over here? Let's see. Name at is not defined. All right, name at is not defined. There is some kind of here I am not using, first of all, formatted text f. Okay. Now here it should not be A, it should be what? S. Okay. So now I save it, get back over here, refresh this guy. Okay. Now I enter a text over here, right? So let's say I enter my name. So enter. All right. So whatever the things I had given, according to that, it is working. All right. Next, we can do what? We can again use user text, but this time we can use it for password, right? Let's say user password. Okay. Same thing. st dot text input. Okay. But this text input can be the password, right? So enter your password. Okay, so it's like I have to just define the type is equals to password. Okay, and thereafter I can show st dot text. Okay, password entered. All right. If you want to showcase the password, you can showcase, but that is not a healthy practice. But yeah, that option, you know, you have user password. Okay, let's save it, re-execute the things. Okay, here whatever that I enter, let's say, will not visible, but once you press enter, now it is visible over here. All right. Next, if I want a number, numeric value entry, we can do what? We can just enter over, let's say, user age. Okay, so st dot text input we had seen, here it will be what? Number input. St dot what? Number input. Okay, and then we can give over here as whatever the things that I like, enter a number. Along with it, we can also define some limitations that minimum number can be what and maximum can be what, that we can define. So minimum value can be, let's say, 1, or you can say 0, right? So that no one can enter negative value. Max value can be, let's say, 100, right? And thereafter print, or you can say st dot text entered age value. Okay, so here we can do what? User age. Again, this can be your formatted text. All right. Okay, so save it. Now let's again check this guy. So what we have, let's say I'll enter over here 45. All right, so it's working good. Next, sidebar. What is sidebar? It's like, on the left hand side, we can, if I want to generate a sidebar, we can use it, right? So that thing st dot sidebar. Okay, and then with the sidebar, whatever the things I want, like header I want, so I can just use header, same kind of functions, right? So if we can say header for sidebar. Okay, thereafter let's say st dot sidebar dot I want text, so I can use text over here. Okay, so we can say MLOps. Okay, by. Okay. So this is I had given. Now let's see the output over here. I'll get a sidebar over here. Okay, that is present like this. Okay, so in this way we had seen the different widgets that we can use in through Streamlit, and these are going to be very much helpful when we go for a deployment of our machine learning model. From the next video, we are going to start some machine learning project. We'll just work on some machine learning, development, where we will create a model, and thereafter we'll see how can we go for the deployment as well, okay, using Streamlit. So trust me, it is going to be very interesting. So keep learning and stay tuned.